many years, the Federal Bureau of Prisons has been concerned about the problems presented by its heterogeneous prison population. Young men, old men, the hardened criminal, the occasional offender. These are some of the inmates of our federal prisons. Our federal system of prisons includes penitentiaries, reformatories, prison camps, and other types of institutions which help to separate the different types of offenders. But even with these diverse institutions, our federal penitentiaries contain both the determined repeater and the improvable offender. In this last category are the young criminals, the tough men in their 20s, capable of any crime, but also capable of dramatic changes. Therefore, to separate these young adult offenders from the older long-timers in the population of our penitentiaries, the Bureau begins to plan a new type of penitentiary for our federal prison system. First, the area must be chosen, and the population center of the United States near the junction of Missouri, Illinois, Tennessee, and Kentucky is selected. The exact location for this special penitentiary is based on a complete list of criteria, which include site size, terrain characteristics, availability of utilities, transportation facilities, and community factors. Replies from 114 communities responding to the formal press release of the Department of Justice initiate 50 location studies by two-man teams, an architect and a prison administrator. After a 2-year search, a location is selected which meets all of the exacting requirements. The Crab Orchard Wildlife Refuge near Maran, Illinois. This land already belongs to the government. Only an interagency transfer is necessary. No federal penitentiary has ever been designed specifically for maximum security, and the most recent construction of a federal penitentiary was at Terre Haute, Indiana in 1939. Architectural firms within a 150-mile radius of Maran, Illinois, are invited to present a portfolio of their previous projects. These are reviewed to find a company with an outstanding record. The St. Louis firm of Helmuth, Obata, and Kassebaum is eventually selected because of its worldwide experience with creative architecture. HOK is then instructed by Bureau Director James Bennett to develop a fresh approach to prison design.
We want you to understand, first of all, that this institution is to be an entirely different type of institution from the traditional, massive, cell block type of institution that has characterized the American prison system for years, and in my judgment has handicapped the individualized treatment of the offender. We want to
The Bureau of Prisons then develops an architectural program with HOK. The program outlines the spatial requirements and stresses the need for an aesthetically pleasing environment that will aid the entire correctional process. Using this detailed program, hundreds of sketches are drawn. A wagon wheel arrangement receives a good response, but this evolves into a more feasible plan which can easily be expanded. Gone are the massive tiered cell blocks. In their place, 2-story buildings served by raised corridors, a split-level design. Eliminated are the long corridors reminiscent of the old-style prison architecture. The ultimate development is a pinwheel arrangement, utilizing the central control point. After every specification is tested against the goals of the institution, the final plans are drawn and approved.
take you in the other room and show you the model. All right.
Fire station garage, warehouse, administration, and power plant buildings are located outside the security fence, away from all inmate activities. Each area has a distinct function and is accessible to the adjacent related spaces. After the lowest bid has been accepted, ground is broken and construction begins. In nearby Henderson, Kentucky, the 7-foot wide wall components are beginning to take shape. After a considerable amount of experimentation and research, precasting the walls face down proves to be a most logical and economical step, and the first layer of exposed white quartz will make a visually pleasing exterior. Tension from the pre-stressed cables, the panels themselves become strong structural members capable of supporting the roof. Precast concrete provides a simple type of construction and at the same time is a strong material difficult to penetrate. Together with 1 1/2 inches of plastic foam insulation, the precast wall section forms both the inside and outside wall in one sandwiched piece. This will create a comfortable inside temperature, a factor in maintaining inmate morale. The inner wall of smooth concrete has a hard, durable finish after curing overnight. When finished, these modular units are handsome, multi-purpose components. With light-colored, appealing walls, the architect has achieved a visual unity through the choice and utilization of construction materials. In Miriam, the haunch is prepared and the tongue is finished. The walls are ready to be set in place. During one day, the shell of a new building arises. Connecting each of the buildings are the wide raised corridors emanating from the central control point. The area under the corridors is for utility supply and access. Utility spaces are also designed at the rear of inside cells. The double T roof sections are also pre-stressed, precast units fabricated in Henderson, Kentucky. The tension cables are depressed in the process. achieves the desired structural camber upon completion. Due to their wide expanse, the roof of the auditorium and dining hall proves to be an unsatisfactory place for using the precast double T system. Here, concrete roof beams are formed. After being poured in place, the rods and the beams are tensioned and held in position with a chuck, which maintains the desired tension. The surrounding space is then pressure filled. Where prefabrication is uneconomical, as in the case of certain high walls and floor slabs, pouring in place is necessary. Maximum security areas, such as the maximum detention cells, are constructed with smooth, hardest steel concrete walls with heavy steel fixtures. Whereas some of the less secure areas, such as the vocational shops, are economically partitioned with standard concrete block construction. During every phase, inspectors from the Bureau check each inch of construction for the slightest flaw. This continuing quality control detects any imperfection prior to completion. A new type of window is designed which is not reminiscent of steel bars. The security frame is welded to plates embedded in the precast panel. An appealing louvered window hides the steel cross members. Natural light is used to its best advantage through the employment of skylights in the library, auditorium, and dining hall. These, together with the many courtyards, will give the inhabitants a feeling of light, airy surroundings. Minimum security inmates arrive from other institutions to form a completion camp. They will do painting, landscaping, and add the other finishing touches prior to the designation of this penitentiary as maximum security. The various cells are planned to handle all types of treatment and behavior, and the surroundings are designed to aid correction without sacrificing security. Cell interiors are designed with the human qualities in mind and are equipped with special facilities which are both pleasing and functional. Light and shadow, having been carefully considered during the design of this institution, are used to create changing patterns on the walls of the buildings, giving an ever-changing view. The round chapel is designed with a rotating altar so that Protestant or Roman Catholic services can be held at any time. The hospital and psychiatric unit are constructed to provide the most modern facilities. The combination auditorium gymnasium also provides recreational opportunities to aid in the overall correctional process. So does the complete library, which contains books on a wide range of subjects. The environmental planning of all facilities is designed to provide the right atmosphere to make these young men receptive to the correctional process. Switches, wire, cables, conduit, tubes, lenses, all combine to create an elaborate network of communication and control facilities. These new systems are tested, checked, and approved. From other institutions, inmates are beginning to be transferred. Now the hard job starts. The correctional process, the attempt to rehabilitate the worst of young adult offenders. But it is in this group that the most dramatic changes can occur. And here at the new federal penitentiary at Maran, Illinois, the buildings are ready. A fresh environment has been designed and created. Time will prove its effectiveness.